Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about an upcoming extreme pattern that's going to feature a lot of severe weather and some potential major snowstorms as well. Now, before we get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. And I'd also highly recommend that you check out our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below, and then also our very awesome channel membership, which you can check out next to that subscribe button. Anyways, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, which of these severe weather days do you think will be the very worst one of them all? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Now let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we're taking a look at that severe weather categorical outlook here from Wednesday and through very, very early on Thursday morning. And as you can see, we have that marginal risk, and we did have that marginal risk as of yesterday as well, but now we also have a slight risk there in the middle, and I did mention to you guys yesterday that there was a chance we would see this get upgraded to a slight, and sure enough, here it is for portions of Oklahoma, and then a good chunk of eastern Kansas there as well. We do have a slight risk of severe weather. Let's take a look at those individual outlooks real quick, and here we are taking a look first off at that damaging wind outlook, and we have 5% chance within 25 miles of a given location of damaging wind there for portions of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. Let's take a look at that hail outlook real quick, and we do have that 5% chance as well here, but also a 15% chance, and that is what encompasses that slight risk. Usually you need a 15% chance risk for them to upgrade to a slight risk, so here it is. So just to let you guys know, the Storm Prediction Center has said that there will be supercells around on this date for Oklahoma and Kansas as well. Here's the tornado risk, and as you can see, we have less than a 2% chance in all areas. I would not be surprised at all to see us get upgraded to a 2% chance here, especially since that storm mode is expected to be supercells. That usually means tornadoes are at least possible, regardless of anything else, and there will be enough shear around. So I think we will at least get a 2% there for the day on Wednesday and through Thursday morning. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on, take a look at some of that modeled guidance as far as all of the parameters go in just a moment. So here's for those high temperatures there on Wednesday, and as you can see, we're going to generally have some upper 60s and 70s around for our severe weather regions. So it's going to be sufficient for sure, to say the least. Here's those dew points, and we're in the upper 50s, which is generally considered just bare minimum for what is needed for severe weather to occur. Typically you want 60s or 70s for the dew points, but 50s have been sufficient in the past, so I think that that's going to be the case this time around as well. Now here is that shear, and as you can see, we are absolutely maxed out. I mean, we have these browns and these bright shades of kind of like white colors or cream colors there for Oklahoma and Kansas. And then as you work it a little bit further east, where most of that severe weather threat is going to be, we're more like in the red. So we have moderate to high shear amounts, like I stated earlier, and that's why I think we will likely at least get a 2% tornado risk on this day. There's just too many good parameters around. Here's that cape, and actually it's going to be really, really sufficient. We do see 1,000 plus amounts in those greens, and then we have a little bit of an area of yellows and oranges there, which is where we're working into like the 1,000, 1,500, and even 2,000 plus amounts of cape. So I think that that's where our line of supercells is obviously going to develop a little bit later that evening. Here's our significant tornado parameter, which is usually a tool that we use to tell if, you know, how strong those potential tornadoes are going to be. And this is actually quite high, which is just another contributing factor that's leading me to believe that we should probably have a 2% chance at least of those tornadoes. Now, what we're going to do in a moment is we're going to take a look at that simulated radar, and then we're going to move on towards Thursday and then even beyond in just a moment. Now here's the simulated radar by time we're taking a look at maybe about 10 p.m. there on Wednesday, and as you can see, there's not even going to be anything around really. It's by time we're taking a look at approximately 2 a.m. on Thursday is when we really begin to see those severe storms work their way into Kansas there, which is very, very interesting. So this could be an overnight event as far as right now. If it's a little bit earlier on, I might go live. If it's more towards the afternoon, sometimes these models are bad at picking up when those storms will develop. But if it is this late, that's likely going to be too late for me. But if those severe storms are happening, you know, before or around dinner time, I will for sure be hopping on and making a live stream tomorrow. I do expect to be making multiple live streams, obviously, this weekend with the multitude of severe weather events that we have coming up. So stay tuned for that. I expect to be doing those a lot more this year than I did last year. I enjoyed doing those a lot last year. Now, here's that day 3 categorical outlook. And as you can see, we have a marginal risk, but it's the same story. We could get a slight risk in there, obviously, just like we did for for Wednesday and through Thursday. Wouldn't be surprised, but there's just a little bit less potential, I think, on Thursday and through Friday. Here's that cape for that day on, again, Thursday through Friday. And as you can see, it's only in the maybe 600 to 1,000 amounts where we get those kind of very bright blues there, and then almost some greenish color showing up for Oklahoma and Kansas. But again, just not really, I don't think it warrants a slight risk at all. Although we do have very high temperatures, as you can see. We're going to be in the 70s and 80s for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. It's going to be very, very nice this day. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on and we're going to take a look at the Friday through Sunday threat, which is the bigger threat at this point. And then also eventually we're going to talk a little bit about that threat early next week, which I think is the biggest out of all of them. That's all coming up in just a moment. All right, now here is it says day 5 outlook, but the reason it says that is because it is 4:50 a.m. from the time I'm making this video. But by the time we're taking a look at about 6 or 7, this will update to the day 4. They'll move all of them ahead. But for now, this is the Friday. Well, this will always be the Friday through Saturday threat, but for now, it's the day 5 threat. So for Friday and through Saturday, we're taking a look at a 15% chance of severe weather, which usually translates into a slight risk at least for Texas and Oklahoma. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some possibly enhanced risks or more during the weekend. Probably just enhanced maximum, honestly. If I'm being quite honest, I don't think we will see a moderate or anything like that this early on. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it's a little bit more possible, especially since there's less certainty, obviously. So let's just break this down. I think the CAPE, here's the thing, it's a little bit lower, but what always happens is these medium range models, they show the CAPE a little bit lower, and then by the time we're in range for the NAM 3KM and some of those shorter range models to tap into it, we really start to see the higher CAPE amounts. That's when it'll be showing like 1,000 to 2,000. So in all reality, I think we will be 1,000 plus once we're kind of taking a look at those short range models. But for now, about 500 to 750 seems to be the maximum according to the European model. Here's those high temperatures on Friday, and as you can see, 70s and 80s again for Oklahoma and Texas, so it will be definitely sufficient. And then the dew point's in the 60s now, so again, that's very good for severe weather. And that shear, it's going to be very high. We see those reds, which is basically maxed out values of the shear there on Friday. So I think the tornado threat is going to be there. Really, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it will be there. So here's what it's hardly a simulated radar, but this is where the precipitation will be. Since we're not taking a look at the short range models anymore, it's really low resolution here. And we don't really have like the reds and oranges. It's mostly just light green to dark green here. But the darker green is likely where those thunderstorms will be set up. And this is approximately 10 or 11 p.m. there on Friday. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on and we're going to talk about Saturday. And then eventually we're going to talk about Sunday as well. And then towards the very end, we're going to talk even about that even bigger threat for Tuesday, Wednesday, and through Thursday. All of that is coming up in just a moment. Now, first things first, here is Saturday and through Sunday morning. And as you can see, again, that 15% chance, but it's a little bit bigger this time around, which leads me to believe this would be a little bit of a day they're a little bit more confident in. That there could be an enhanced risk in the middle there. Because if you have a very slight or a very small slight risk area, it's harder for them to fit an enhanced risk in there. That's just what I've personally noticed, but I guess if it was a small region expecting severe weather, but it's still very potent, they would still find a way to put it in there. But usually it's the bigger slight risk areas where they're expecting to put an enhanced in there. That's just what I've noticed. So let's break it down. The CAPE is a little bit higher this day. We do have those yellows and greens showing up quite a bit there on Saturday, but it's a little bit too far west from the severe weather threat. So it's, again, just kind of like a weird CAPE day where there's not a ton around. And as you can see, once we're taking a look at this precipitation, it's very far west here in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, and then it kind of works its way east. I'm assuming this is going to be more like a squall line, just based on the structure we're seeing here, but it's kind of further out, so it's really difficult to say. But for Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, there's likely a very strong cold front rolling through right now that's bringing a strong line of thunderstorms. By the time we're taking a look at Sunday and through Monday morning, very, very early on Monday morning, the CAPE again is like below 1,000 for the most part for all of these regions. But look at the temperatures. It's very apparent there's a strong cold front there because you see 50s on one side of it to the west of it, and then you see 70s just to the east of it. So that's a very strong cold front. And I wouldn't be surprised if these 2 days, so Saturday and Sunday, are mostly wind-driven severe weather events. But again, we're just so far out. There's a lot more that could happen. We could have supercells out in front of it. There could be a lot of things going on that we're not really seeing yet. And then quickly, I wanted to talk about that again, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday threat. Here is Wednesday at 2 a.m., so that's going to be considered Tuesday and through Wednesday morning because it ends at 6 a.m., I think, those SPC outlooks. So this would be considered for Tuesday, according to the Storm Prediction Center. And as you can see, we have plenty of those yellows and oranges, which is where we're at about 2,000 plus Cape. So like 2,000 to 3,000 Cape, which is when you're really starting to talk about high potential for that severe weather. And look at this. By the time we're taking a look at about 6 or 7 a.m. on Wednesday, oh my gosh, 3,000 plus Cape. I'm picking up a maximum of 3,694 Cape here. So definitely looking like a high Cape type event could be possible for, again, Tuesday and through Thursday, because by the time we're reaching Thursday afternoon, you can see we have those greens and oranges around for the southeast, which is where we could have some severe weather at the very tail end. This is very far out, though, so take it with a grain of salt, but we do see those sufficient amounts of Cape in the form of about 1,000 to maybe 2,500 around here for the southeastern states by the time we're reaching Thursday afternoon. Now, quickly, the total snowfall, nothing has changed here. If anything, we're expecting more snow. Widespread 40 to 50 inches of snow for Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota. Obviously, I'm going to need to update this with some videos just about this snowstorm. So we're going to be updating this soon. Rest assured for you guys out there. It is a little bit further out, so we're trying to give it a little bit more time. There is some severe weather coming up in the meantime, but by the time we're talking about by the time I'm making my Sunday and Monday videos, we'll probably be talking about the snowfall for the Rockies, so I will be talking about that soon. Anyway, for my confidence tab, I'm at a 5 out of 6. I know there will be severe weather in some form or some shape in some way, so yeah, we're very confident in that. So we're at a 5 out of 6. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, what is the maximum threat level you think we will see this upcoming weekend and in through next week? And Alley Cat said, I definitely think enhanced is possible, and I think I agree as well, and I think most of you probably do also. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons: Sebastian Tao, John Benbenek, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Alan Belemo, Adam S., Larry the Pan, Donna Carnes, Cameron Marshall, and Aiden Mattis, alongside our diamond patrons: Bill Roberts, Alan Sherry, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalessa, Michael Buell, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Kellen Manhart, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Mark J, Luke Faligo, Gary's, and John Quilisi. If you would like to be a part of this patron end screen of the day, you can do so by joining our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. I will see you guys in the next video.